Hello and welcome to my very first review type thing, this one of Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. So, before I actually start this review off, I want to tell you why I didn't do a full playthrough of it. This is why. So last night I decided, now's the time, I'm gonna do the Home playthrough, the full thing, because I was told the game was pretty short. You can play through it in just under 2 hours. If you really take your time, immerse yourself and really get into it. 2 hours should be enough. I've been told that some people played through it in 1 hour. I don't know why you'd rush through a game like that, but whatever. So, I had a lot of problems getting this set up for recording. I wanted to record my voice, the footage of the game, and a face cam. The face cam wasn't a problem, that was always working. It was fine. No problem. But the footage of the game, man, was that difficult. I couldn't record it with Fraps. I couldn't record it with XSplit. I could only record it with Bandicam of all things. And after trying to use Bandicam to record it, I actually did record it. I recorded the whole thing. But after using Bandicam, I can tell you that I'm never going to use it again. Ever. I actually used the unregistered version of it because it wasn't really a problem having the watermark there, seeing that it recorded a little block of Home up in the top left-hand corner, but seeing that the game is actually such a small or low resolution, that wasn't a problem because I was going to zoom in on it anyway and have it next to my face cam. But what happened was I played through the entire game. I did a whole bunch of test recordings. Like a whole bunch. I spent an hour and a half preparing to record the game, and every single test was perfect. Perfect. Then, I recorded it, but for some reason Bandicam, as the video got longer, it started lagging more and more. So, the recording started off perfect. The first 20, 30, 40 minutes even were perfect. Perfectly watchable. But when I got to about the halfway point and further, it started lagging progressively more as I continued through the game. And because of that, the last half of the game, or the last half of the playthrough, is totally unwatchable. Well, in my opinion at least. I could actually upload it. I could probably upload it, but it's so choppy that I feel it isn't really worth watching like that. And the really sad thing is, if it was any other game, the chances are I would have just said, hey, to hell with it. I'll do it again. I'll just record the entire thing again. But because of the way that Home is set up, and we're going to talk about that now, in just a moment, I want to get this frustration out of the way because it was infuriating. Okay, but because of the way it's set up and because of the way the game plays out, you can't really play it more than once without knowing too much. So, that said, there's not going to be a full playthrough. If I do upload one, it's going to be unlisted, and I'm going to clearly mark it and say this is not representative of the kind of quality stuff that I put on my channel because it really isn't that good. So, the commentary was great. Oh my goodness, I had such a great time playing. Okay, it's like an hour and 40 minutes worth of commentary that I'm going to lose, but that's just too bad, okay? It happens, and I decided, well, I want to be productive and actually get something done and share the experience that I had playing the game. So, this is it. I'm going to put an annotation up somewhere that skips to this point for the people that want to skip through the little negative part at the start. There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? Look who it was! Oh, this place has seen better days. I'm sure of it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. PC. How about we play some Home on this PC? Have some Homeception going on. The desk had a computer and some papers on it. And a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but... Did I open the drawer? Of course you did. Do it. Receipts, pens, and a blurry photo. Looked like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? I don't know. Okay, so now onto the review proper. I've got a little notepad open here that's going to help me keep things at least a little bit structured. A little bit like a real review. Because as you probably know, I tend to go off on tangents. So, excuse me if I actually look back at it every now and then, because I want to keep this at least a bit like a normal review. Or a real review. A professional review. Why the heck not? So Home. It was released a couple of days ago on Steam, and it's very cheap. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. If you're even a little bit interested, if it piqued your curiosity, why not pick it up? It's only $3. That's next to nothing. A work table, covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. Did I take it? Yes. I think I did. Tucked the small handgun in my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. The graphics and controls of the game. I'm going to link those two together because they're both pretty simple. The graphics are very cool. I would say crisp and clean retro style. Now I had a few issues with the lack of customization in the game. You can make it full screen, you can make it a tiny little window, but that's it. Nothing big. But the graphics are cool. They are good enough and they show enough to really convey the dread that is sometimes felt while playing this game. The sound is amazing as well. The sound effects in the game were one of the things that really kept me on the edge of my seat, because they play these things at the perfect times. They play them at just the right volume. Sometimes you hear these little whispers coming from one end of the house or the room that you're in. Sometimes there's a loud clank on the other side of the room and you're like wondering what the heck is that, and you run over there and you just see a shadow like fluttering by. I'm going back through to look. I'm waiting. Go on. Oh! Dude, get the gun out. Dude, get the gun out. Get the gun out, dude. It gets scary. And that's gonna help me just segue into my next part. The atmosphere of the game is amazing. Okay? Now that's everything together. The sound, the graphics, the feel. This game isn't scary in the Amnesia sense of the word, because Amnesia you don't have to try. It's gonna scare you. You're gonna be scared when you play an Amnesia. You don't even have to you can just start the game. Spawn in Castle Brennenburg and you'll be scared. But this game, you have to try a little bit harder. You have to really immerse yourself. And that said, I'd say follow the tips that they give you of wearing that headset. Dimming the lights. It helps. It helps immerse yourself. But there are a few tips that I can give you as well. Get a notepad. Write down things that you learn about what's going on. They tell you little snippets of information here and there. There are even little puzzles in the game that if you can remember the knowledge that you picked up earlier in the game, you can use that to solve the puzzle. These are all optional. You don't need to do them. If you do them, you'll just get a better understanding of what's happening in the story. Oh! Something just happened back this way. That just means I'm going straight this side. No! There are way too many doors now. Okay, wait. I'm going back to check the exit out because... No, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not going back to check the exit out. I'm sticking to my guns here. I'm going to the exit last. I'm going all the way to the end first. I'm in a machine room or something. What is this? I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyway? Yes, just do it. I'm a chancer like that. Pay attention. Immerse yourself. Enjoy it for what it is. A pretty crazy experience, I'll tell you that right now. So, the story of the game is set up in a really weird way where there aren't really any rewards for what you do. They don't even, at the end of the game, and I don't want to spoil anything, but they don't really reward you by telling you what happened. What is this? Some kind of old boxes. They look like they were years old. Wait a minute! These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remember throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing here? All they really tell you is that you are this guy, you wake up in a house on a stormy night, and you have no idea what's happening. You start finding bodies. Everything's really dark. It's pretty scary. That's all they give you. You have to work the rest out for yourself. And I think that's absolutely amazing. The perfect way of setting the mood. What the heck is that? A thin grey mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yes. Show me little mousey. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's cute. Haha, I did my good deed for the day. That's it. You kind of decide for yourself what happened to your character, what happened in the story, how it played out. You basically ultimately decide the fate of your character. And that's really weird. Okay? It's a different way of doing it. I was kind of shocked by how the game ended, but what was great was that I had so many different theories bouncing around in my head, and it kept changing. Every little bit of information that I picked up while playing through home, my theory of what was happening or what happened or what the big mystery of the game was changed. It maybe sometimes just shifted slightly, but at some points it was a huge change in perspective. When you find someone or something, when you're told something, when you just discover a little detail that you hadn't realized before, it changes things. Of course she was. Rachel was always the sensible one. Sensible in that she jumped ship before it sunk. And I thought that that was a really cool way of storytelling. I want to say it's an old school way of storytelling where they don't just spoon feed you the story. They don't force it down your throat, okay? And they don't explain every single little thing of what's happening. And I think that's great. Okay, more games should do things like this. More games should be brave like this. I really enjoyed that aspect of the game a lot. The story, the atmosphere, the way it was presented to you. That was amazing. Now, at the end of the game, they actually tell you that there's a site that you can go to. I don't know what the link is right now. I'll put it below. Where you can compare your theories with other people that have finished the game. And that's amazing. So you can have a whole bunch of people just, I don't want to say arguing, but debating what happened. Comparing notes. And I think that's amazing. The game probably has a big community of people, like a little cult following actually, discussing what's happening, having totally different theories, because after playing through the game, I can just assume that there are many different ways of looking at it. I don't want to tell you my theory because that would be a huge spoiler, but I have to tell you that it was very interesting. I found the story incredibly interesting. So, if I had any negative points of the game, I'd say it was what I sort of just hinted at before. There's no customization, and you can't actually save. You're expected to play through the entire game in one sitting, which is actually okay. I mean, it's going to take you maybe an hour to 2 hours at most. I don't think you'll take longer than 2 hours doing it. And that's okay. Those are not really big problems. Not to me, at least. Okay? The game played really nicely. I enjoyed it. And if I had to give it some sort of rating, because I want to keep this semi-brief, I don't want to have a half an hour long review, but if I have to give it a rating, I'd say it's a grand adventure well worth having. I don't know where that rates on, like 0 to 5 stars or 0 to 100% or 1 to 10 or whatever, but grand adventure would have to be enough for you guys. So the reason I give it such a good rating, and I would consider a grand adventure being a pretty good rating, is because of the price of the game, the atmosphere, and I'd say just the unique nature of the game. So that's pretty much it. That is how I review games. That's my review of the game Home. And I want to say that I'm not going to do this too often because I would have preferred to do a normal full playthrough of the game. But because my playthrough failed so completely and utterly, I wanted to at least put something out there, give you my thoughts on the game. Okay? Now, that said, I'm again not going to be telling you what my theory was, but I'll tell you that it involves death and murder and deceit. Oh my goodness. The game's story is intense. Okay, it's depressing at times, it's exciting at times, and it's super scary at times. Play through it. If you've got the time or the inclination, you won't be disappointed. Now, it would be much cooler if there was someone voice acting all of it for you, because that's what actually happened in my playthrough of the game, which is sitting on my hard drive and I can't use it. But I read all of it, so I think that if you can find a nice playthrough of it, maybe I'll upload mine. Okay, maybe I'll put it as an unlisted video, and you guys can watch it regardless of the laggy footage, because the first half, as I said, was perfect. Maybe I'll put it up unlisted, no ads, nothing like that, because I don't feel that I want to make money off something like that. It's subpar. It's not the kind of thing that I'd usually want to upload. But the sound quality was perfect. So if you don't want to play through it, if you don't want to spend those $3, maybe I'll put a link in the description to the unlisted version of the full playthrough, and you can just check it out. See what it's like, because I'll be reading everything to you, and that's okay. But that's it. That's the end of my review. I've already started rambling, and that's bad. I want to stop myself from doing that. Now, check the game out if you want. Read more below if you're keen. Check the full playthrough up below if I did end up linking it. I'm not sure if I'm going to. I hope you enjoyed the little random snippets of gameplay, because I did cut a few highlights out and I put them in this review just to make it more fun or interesting, or at least show you some of the experiences I had. So I hope you enjoyed all of that, and most importantly, happy home. Yes, happy that. Okay, so I'm escaping. Oh! Jeez Louise. What? Why are they doing that to me? Was that someone knocking on the door? The door was taped and locked. I couldn't get through. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen.